Thoughts on what you had out there? Because it's not, Dave said they're not all experiments, those line combinations. I mean, are you looking at things saying maybe this could work in a game, or are you looking for the shape that these guys are in? Or
A little bit of everything. It's they're Hack and us answer the questions better, but sometimes what combinations work, so you try some other things to see if something clicks. So, again, you can always go back to the way things have been. So there's some experimenting always at the start of training camp. So put guys in spots and see how things go.
You're looking for guys to level up, and Nolan, there's a certain level when he gets out with the rookies, and there's a certain level when he gets in the game. There's a certain level when he's out there. How did he look in your mind? Did he kind of get to that level that you're kind of hoping to see on the first day of training camp with NHL guys?
I think it was a good day for everybody. It was a hard work day for sure. You probably saw him dragging at the end there, and that's important. It's guys work hard all summer. Guys are in real good shape. They come in that first day of training camp, second day of training camp. They're hard days. I thought the guys looked good. I thought the pace was high, and Nolan did a good job.
Ron, is there anything that Phil Myers cannot do? I know he's out there, so I'm assuming he's 100%, or are you going to? Yeah,
he's fine. I told you the other night, he was pulled off for precautionary reasons, and he's fine.
Bobby Cabell?
He's good. He's on some medication, and he's expected to skate tomorrow.
What about LeBurge? He left early.
LeBurge went to see the doc. We'll find out later today or tomorrow.
Will you make any cuts before Sunday's game, or are you going to go with this crew and at least let, you got 57 guys, so it would probably take several games, but have everybody that's here now get at least a game?
We're going to keep everybody through Sunday. We'll make decisions, a few decisions after that. You always have an idea what you're going to do, but sometimes injuries and performance dictate, so we'll kind of play our day by day, but everybody will be here through Sunday.
I know they're only exhibition games, but you've gotten off to slow starts the last few years. Does that give the exhibition games even more meaning, or are you not looking at it that way?
They mean something. No one wants to come out of exhibition feeling poorly about themselves, but we got some decisions to make, and for us it's a lot about decision making, and I think when guys are fighting for spots, you expect to have a competitive preseason, and I suspect we'll do well.
I think just for you, you said, you weren't able to kind of make that familiarity, build those bonds with the guys in Calgary because you were worried about baby coming. This year, is it a little bit easier sort of building those bonds and getting to know everybody in the lay of the land?
Yeah, it helps that I know a few of these guys already beforehand. But again, it just comes with spending time together, grabbing lunches together and dinners and things like that. So it comes, and it's a great group of guys. People have been asking me, is there any bad apples in the dressing room or someone that you're not going to get along with? But it's everybody's been great. Everybody's been excited, and I think the expectations are high, internal in here, and that's what you like to see coming in.
I don't think people realize how important that off-ice, pre-camp, early in camp kind of is for newer guys coming in.
Yeah, and I think even going through a skate there at the end all together, all pushing it together, and I think that's what grows a culture, grows a team. You saw the guys didn't give up out there. Goalies were doing a little bit different things, but we were all working hard.
Obviously, it's early and just go through the first couple of drills, but how did Oscar look? The fact that they paired him with you says a little bit of something.
Yeah, his hockey sense is, we only did a couple of drills, but his hockey sense is pretty high. He's got a good shot, and he's not scared going to the net. So, we'll have a couple more practices here, and hopefully a couple preseason games together and see how it goes.
You said you weren't happy with your performance last year. Does that make this camp even more important to you? Feel like you have some business to take care of?
I think every camp is very important to kind of make sure that when the first game comes, you're at your best and to be able to help the team win. So just today's practice was the intensity is probably one of the best I've ever had during camp, and it wasn't easy out there, and that's the kind of camp you want.
Scott, last year you got off to a quick start for the first 15 games or so, and then maybe hit a little bit of a wall after that. Do you think maybe having a full off season will help in terms of stamina over the whole season?
Yeah, I think it's hopefully. I think this summer I really got stronger and faster, like everybody tries to do during the summer, and excited to get the season going.
It's been a lot of skating, a lot of battles, but on the other hand, it can make us better. So why not?
I mean, just for Hack, this is his third training camp. Why do you think he sort of cranked it up a notch?
Well, I don't know. I think they went over it, coaches with Hexy, and they thought we need to get better at that. So obviously it's a different approach to the training camp, and I think it's only going to help us.
How was it? I think playing with Nolan, seeing him for the first time.
Yeah, you know what? I was actually at that rookie game against Islanders, and it feels like he's always one step ahead of everything. Like you're looking at the game, you're looking at the ice from above, and you see the opening, and you'll be like, oh, it would be nice if he passed it there, and it's already in his head, and he makes it happen so easy. So very smart player, and excited to watch him play.
Jordan, just talk about the first couple of days here at camp, going through some pretty intense practices. How do you think that's kind of differed from your first camp last year here?
Yeah, it's definitely picked up. They're putting us through the paces, but it's a lot of fun. It's been a long summer waiting to get back at it, and it's nothing like getting back into the competing atmosphere right away.
Okay, do you think that kind of helps you and this group as they enter the preseason, that the first couple days has been so hard, it gets you into competition and game mode a little bit quicker?
Oh, for sure, because, all those 2-on-2, 1-on-1 low battles, that's half the game out there, winning those battles, and if you can do that and win the majority of those, you're going to give yourselves a good chance of winning every night. So.
Okay, how much of a relief is it to actually get in and compete against another team rather than just your teammates? It's been a while since you and a lot of the guys in here have been in a game situation.
Yeah, should be good. The guys that are in, you got to go there and compete, get a win, start this season off on the right foot.
Was last year a little frustrating for you at times?
Yeah, the whole last year was frustrating. So I'm really happy to get a fresh start here, and I'm really excited.
They're loaded with centers. If for some reason you had to be switched over to wing, is it you see a problem being
that's
playing
fine.
another position?
No, that's fine. I played a winger before in the World Cup, Olympics, and World Championship, so I'm fine with that.
What was the initial reaction to the trade?
What was the
initial reaction when you found it?
Actually, my wife woke me up 7 o'clock in the morning in Finnish time, and she said we're gonna go to Philly. I was like, okay, and I keep sleeping. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I started to Google the place, and I asked Phil.
You've been with Val Vilpel a little bit in camp so far. Have you played with him before?
Well,
obviously,
we've been working out many summers together, skating with each other. So he's a guy that I know.
Player like Wayne Simmons on his line and Jordan on your other side.
It's obviously pretty exciting. They're both amazing players, and they both had good years last year. And to be able to start at camp with along the line with those two guys is pretty cool.
Wayne said he thought you showed a lot of hockey IQ out there, high hockey IQ. And did you feel comfortable?
Yeah, I did. I wasn't nervous or anything. Kind of skating with pros in the summer kind of made me more comfortable around them and stuff like that. So I wasn't nervous out there and just tried to have good practice and compete as hard as I could.
Just maybe the pace of this compared to this camp compared to the rookie camp, just having a couple days in between, is kind of a faster pace for everything.
Yeah, it's for sure faster. Obviously, with the pros out there, that's kind of to be expected that the speed was going to pick up. And I don't think anyone looked out of place out there. I think it was a good skate, and everyone looked pretty good. So.
All right, Scott, talk about the first 2 days of camp here, or first 3 days technically, but how's everything going for you? I mean, the theme is that it's pretty intense out there. So from your point of view, how intense and how fast-paced is everything?
Yeah, it's the most intense camp I've had since I've been here, so it's been good. I mean, body's getting a little bit sore, but that's a good thing. Getting into game mode and battling with your teammates, so it'll be nice to get into preseason action and kind of face other guys and start battling with them. But I think the first 2 days were really tough and lots of work, and looking forward to tomorrow and keep on going.
Do you feel like that can make a player more game ready, specifically talking about the preseason games, when you go this hard and now you enter the preseason?
For sure. I mean, we're bag skating at the end of practice and things like that, so starting to get into game shape a little bit more than just scrimmaging with the guys before the year. So it's been a really, really good 2 days of practice, and just like I said, looking forward to tomorrow and the next day and keep on moving forward.
Okay, it's been a while for you and a lot of these guys in here to get into a game situation. How much are you chomping at the bit, especially after going through the last couple of days to, play another team and get that competition going?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to play another team and to battle with those guys and to battle with these guys in here and go to war and do things like that. So it's nice. I mean, preseason's big for me. I need to have a good preseason and carry that into the real season. So I'm looking forward to it.
Is it good to be, back in camp, and how the first 2 days have gone?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's definitely good to see all the guys again. It's been fun hanging around the rink with them again, but at the same time, everyone's competing hard, so it's been good. Everyone's looking good coming into camp. Everyone's moving the puck well, so we're all competing hard, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the team shapes up. It's exciting.
Okay, just compare this year's camp to last year's camp. I mean, what's your mindset? It's got to be completely different. I mean, last year you're coming in, hoping to displace a veteran to get a spot. You make the team. What's this year's camp like for you? And just compare the difference.
You know what? There's a lot of similarities, to be honest. I'm still that young guy on the team who's got to prove himself that he's worth a spot, and I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm just working hard. I'm taking pucks to the net. It sounds cliche, but I'm just keeping things simple and trying to make as many plays as I can without getting in trouble. So I'm just trying to do whatever I can to stay in the good books. And in camp, sometimes it's good to not be noticed out there. You want to just do the right things and try to make plays, but try to limit your mistakes.
What's that competition out on the ice like for you? I mean, you go through informal skates just to get ready. You train all summer, but now that you're actually on the ice, do you feel that competitiveness?
Yeah, like even guys on your own skate, you're competing against defensemen, you're competing, against the goalies, line mates, whatever it is. Like you're competing against everybody on the ice, but at the same time you're working with them all. You're trying to make cool plays and be creative, and so it's fun. And then you get off the ice and we're all buddies. So it's definitely it's business out there. You're trying to work and compete for spots, but it's all fun too.
In today's day and age, everybody takes such good care of themselves in the summer. I imagine you like the format of you're here for 2 days and then you start with games.
That's good. I think you go any longer than 2 days and you build up kind of animosity amongst each other. I think it's best to get an exhibition game early. I think after this first Islanders game, we actually have like 3 or 4 days of practices, which is good. We can go take our frustrations out on the Islanders for one game and then get back to practicing with each other. So it's good.
Of course, it's just the 1 day, but if they're putting combinations together, they probably have some reason to think maybe it happens again tomorrow or potentially in a game.
We'll see what happens, right? I know from the last 2 years in training camp with Hack, he switches the lineups. Obviously he wants to see, combinations of which he think will fit together. Me and Wilsey played together a lot last year once Wilsey came up, so we're stuck together again this year so far, and hopefully it sticks together. I like that line, me, Wilsey, and Patrick there. I thought. We had pretty good chemistry today.
How much do you feel like you already know in terms of what combinations might work and what don't? I mean, today, for example, how much of those combinations are flat-out experiment, and how much you say, I'm pretty confident this would work?
Well, I don't think we were not necessarily experimenting with a whole lot of. I mean, we had lines that we wanted to put together for the first day of camp. That's probably a little different mindset than what we're going to try to do for the first day of the regular season, or certainly at certain points during the preseason. This was more for to make sure we had a good mix and to make sure that we were able to get off to a good, hard-working, competitive start to camp, and I think we had that today.
Jake Voracek called it his hardest first day of camp in his 11 years.
trying to send a message to these guys?
No, I mean, I think our guys have worked real hard over the summer. You know, I really believe that from all of the feedback that we've gotten, you know, and just from, you know, talking to the guys throughout the summertime. And really, I just wanted to make sure that hard work transferred and translated onto the ice. And it was a hard day. There's no question. And you know what? I give a lot of credit to both groups. I like the older guys in terms of the way they led the way. Jake's one of the guys. I thought his level of work and his compete out there was excellent. But I thought our veterans led the way, and I thought, you know what, the young guys were right there pushing.
Is that why the format works? That you go.
What's that?
Is that why the format works? That you have 2 days of practice and go right into games because these guys do such a high level of activity during the summertime?
Yeah, no question. I mean, guys are in. You know, guys wouldn't get through tough practices like today at a high level unless they came in great shape. And I think everybody fared and did pretty well. You know, playing on day 3, like there's going to be tired legs. Like I don't know what other teams are doing. I don't really care. I know, playing a 1 o'clock game on Sunday, our group of 20, or there's probably going to be somewhere along the way where the legs get a little bit heavy in that game, but that's okay. We're going to get the work in now. We're going to have another hard, competitive, heavy day tomorrow, and I know our guys will go out and attack it just like they did today.
The hard work that you're talking about in the summer, was some or much of that prescribed by you guys? Like, okay, like we've heard guys have changed their workout routines over the summer. How much of that came from the organization itself?
Oh, I think it's a partnership between, the organization, the investment that just overall that the organization has made, and making sure we're able to provide everything that our players need in terms of resources. I think that's second to none, but also I think that's truly that's an investment by the players in terms of being the key partner in that. They're the ones that put the work in. They're the ones at the end of the day that set the bar for themselves individually during the summer.
Was it increased or alternated? I guess that's probably the way I should have asked that question. From the previous summer to this summer, was there a difference in it, in what you were asking them to do?
I think every, just like any aspect, I think you always look to improve. And, I know what the personnel on the inside of this building, I know what they, how they work and how much pride they take in that side of things. And there's some great people. And that, like I said, in combination with the players, believing and trusting, in those people and in that process, I think it's a partnership, and that's why I use that word.
Dave, based on what you saw in the rookie game and today, early impressions on Lindblom and Patrick?
I thought they both had a good rookie camp. I like the way I like the poise that they played with specifically. I don't want to get into any, anything more individual than that. I like the poise that they played with in both in camp and in the rookie game, and I thought they both looked like they belonged today. They had good hard working days. Nothing. You get to this time of camp, as you get into this, the competitive stage of it, it's not going to be the flashy things that help you advance. It's going to be the solid day-to-day work, and I thought they both had real good work days today, and looked poised and looked calm and composed out there.